Listen closely, because what you're about to hear might completely change the way you look at the pennies in your pocket. Most people see a Lincoln wheat penny and think it's just old pocket change. They toss it into jars, drop it in parking lots, or spend it without even looking twice. But here on USA Coin Reveal, we uncover the hidden truth collectors don't want everyone to know. Some of these ordinary-looking pennies are actually hidden treasure coins, silent fortunes people are accidentally spending every single day. In today's reveal, we're exposing 3 super-rare Lincoln wheat pennies that collectors quietly hunt across the United States. These coins look simple, but secret collectors want them. And when they appear in real auctions, the bidding becomes intense and aggressive. Do not spend these coins. Check your pocket now, check your coin jars, check your drawers. Because if you find one of these, it means you could be holding serious money without even realizing it. Stay with me until the end, because each coin becomes rarer, more valuable, and more shocking than the last. Let's begin with the first coin, and this one already proves that a single penny can hide serious wealth. The 1940 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark looks ordinary at first glance. It carries the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front and the classic wheat stalks on the reverse. Millions of Americans handled coins like this during everyday transactions, and most people never imagined that some of them would become collector treasures decades later. The year 1940 was a tense moment in American history. The world was moving toward global conflict, and economic pressure was building. The United States Mint was producing coins rapidly to support a growing economy and preparing for uncertain times. When mints push production under pressure like that, subtle variations and survival conditions can create hidden rarities. This penny was struck from the traditional bronze composition used during the wheat penny era, mostly copper, with small amounts of tin and zinc. It weighs around 3.11 grams, measures about 19 millimeters in diameter, and has a thickness close to 1.5 millimeters. When you hold it, the copper carries a warm, aged color that instantly feels historic. The example collectors hunt often shows a deep, dark brown natural shade across the surfaces. That tone is extremely important because it tells experts the coin likely survived decades without being polished or cleaned. In the collector world, original surfaces are everything. Once a coin is cleaned, the natural history disappears and the value drops sharply. The missing mint mark means this coin was struck at the historic Philadelphia Mint. Philadelphia produced enormous numbers of coins, but that doesn't mean survivors in almost fine condition are easy to find today. Most were used heavily in circulation for years and eventually worn down or lost. That's why collectors study every tiny detail of the design. Lincoln's hairlines, the clarity of the wheat stalks, the strength of the date. These small features reveal whether the coin survived the decades with its originality intact. When a coin like this appears in auctions, experienced collectors become very serious. They examine the surfaces carefully, and then bidding begins quietly but aggressively, because they know the opportunity may not return for years. Today, a 1940 Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark in almost fine condition with original dark brown surfaces can reach around $45,000 in the collector market. That is hidden wealth inside a 1-cent coin. So remember the warning. Do not spend this coin. Never clean it and never polish it. The original toning is exactly what gives the coin its authenticity and value. Now, the second coin on this list becomes even more surprising because it comes from a time when America was rebuilding and the economy was booming again. The 1950 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark might look like just another copper penny, but collectors see something very different. The year 1950 marked the beginning of a powerful new decade in the United States. After the end of World War II, industries were expanding, families were growing, and money was flowing quickly through the economy. The mint had to produce enormous quantities of coins to keep up with commerce. Coins produced during high-demand years were circulated heavily, which means finding one today in original preserved condition is far rarer than most people expect. The design remained the iconic Lincoln portrait on the front and wheat stalks on the reverse, but collectors pay attention to the surface character. Many valuable examples show a natural brown rust-toned layer across the front and back. That antique appearance signals original aging rather than artificial cleaning. Again, the metal composition is the classic bronze mixture. The coin weighs about 3.11 grams, has a 19 mm diameter, and roughly 1.5 millimeters of thickness, giving it that solid historic copper feel collectors recognize immediately. Because this coin has no mint mark, it was also produced in Philadelphia. Millions were struck, but most spent decades moving through stores, vending machines, and everyday transactions. Very few survived in almost fine condition with their natural surfaces untouched. Collectors carefully inspect details like the sharpness of the date numbers and the lines of the wheat stalks. Those small features tell the difference between a common coin and a hidden treasure. When a well-preserved example appears in the collector market, auctions become intense. Buyers study the coin quietly, then bidding begins. Many collectors buy these coins not to sell quickly, but to hold them long-term, which slowly reduces the supply available to the market. That shrinking supply and rising demand is exactly why prices keep climbing. Today, a 1950 Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark, in almost fine condition with original brown rust-toned surfaces, can reach around $50,000 in the collector world. That is serious money hiding in a penny that most people overlook. So again, remember this warning: do not spend this coin. Never clean it, because cleaning destroys the original surface and removes the very character collectors are paying for. If you ever find one, professional grading is critical to confirm authenticity and protect its value. Now we reach the third and most shocking coin in today's reveal, and this one comes from an even earlier chapter of American history. The 1937 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is a coin that carries the story of the Great Depression era. During the late 1930s, the United States was still recovering from severe economic hardship. Money moved rapidly through daily life, and coins circulated heavily as people depended on every cent they could earn. Because of that intense circulation, very few pennies from this period survived in strong original condition. This penny still carries the famous Lincoln portrait on the front and wheat stalks on the reverse. But what collectors notice first is the surface character. Some rare examples show small, natural black rust-toned spots on the front surface. Those marks often indicate natural copper aging that hasn't been altered by cleaning. To collectors, that originality is extremely important. It proves the coin survived decades without someone scrubbing away its natural skin. Like the others, this penny is made from the bronze-copper alloy used during the wheat penny era. It weighs around 3.11 grams, measures 19 millimeters across, and is roughly 1.5 millimeters thick. These measurements help confirm authenticity and give the coin its classic copper feel. Because there is no mint mark, this coin was also struck at the historic Philadelphia Mint. Even though many were produced, the combination of age and heavy circulation means surviving pieces in almost very fine condition are far less common today. Collectors who specialize in early wheat pennies examine details carefully: the clarity of Lincoln's hair, the sharpness of the wheat lines, the color of the copper. Those tiny details determine whether a coin is ordinary or extraordinary. When a strong example appears in auctions, the bidding becomes serious. Experienced buyers recognize that coins like this are slowly disappearing into private collections, where they may remain hidden for decades. That is why demand continues to grow while supply shrinks. And when a 1937 Lincoln wheat penny without mint mark, in almost very fine condition with natural black surface spots, appears in today's collector market, its value can reach around $61,000. That is a silent fortune hiding inside a 1-cent coin. So once again, remember the most important rule: do not spend these coins. People lose treasures like this every day because they assume old pennies are worthless. Never clean them, never polish them, and always protect their natural toning. If you think you've found one, professional grading can confirm its authenticity and preserve its value. 3 pennies. 3 ordinary coins most people would ignore. Yet together, they reveal a shocking truth. Hidden treasure coins are still out there in circulation, quietly waiting for someone sharp enough to notice them before they disappear forever. The next time you see a wheat penny, don't rush to spend it. Look closely, because that tiny coin might not be pocket change at all. It might be a silent fortune that changes everything.